chest that calls on you to cry. You decided it was time for him to fly out of the darkness and into the light, higher and higher out of sight.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings. Happy Friday. So, what I am doing is I'm rekitting my Heaven and Earth designs, because I went and got containers. I hold 240 colors, and my Heaven and Earth designs is 239 colors. So instead of having 4 of these, the Elizabeth Wards, I only have 1 container. So these are new. They do come in a box like this that has 2 levels. Amazon from Art Dot. So it holds 240, and my Heaven and Earth is 239. And I also first tried it out on my other big kit that I'm going to be starting on the 1st. It's 100 by 100 centimeters. It's a Josephine wall. It was 190 some colors. So I wanted to try it out on that first, and I kind of, because I never used these round little tubes before for storage. So I kind of like it. They fit a lot in there. So I went ahead and I bought a second one and figured I'm going to rekit my Heaven and Earth designs, and I'm going to start that one also on the 1st. So let's see. Hey, Berta. Good morning, sunshine. Hey, John. Hey, John. How's it going? One case, sweet. Yes, very sweet. Because when I first kitted this up, these weren't available. They were available in the 28, the 64, the 128 maybe, but not 240. So yeah. So when I seen that on Amazon, I said, got to get it. Got to try it out, because they do come with 2 sticker sheets. They also come with a baggie of a big white tray, a green tray, some wax, and some pins, and some plastic tweezers. So, and they're on sale. I just ordered this on Wednesday evening, I think. I got it this morning. So, hoo-hoo, Amazon Prime. Berta says, those are my favorite. Yeah, I actually, this is my second kit up using these, so I'm gonna see how it goes. I may have to order some more, right? So that's what I'm doing today. I've already started. Let's see, I already got my first row done. And let's see, because I used a lot of my large containers in my Elizabeth Wards for this painting and a couple other paintings I have kitted up. So, and I really like the Elizabeth Wards. So a lot of the newer paintings that I want to do, I need a bigger case. So I figured I'm going to stick it into this one. I can stick the extras in that baggie and stick it inside the lid. So apartment. So plus I can have it all in one little case instead of 4 of these damn cases. So let's see. So how's everybody's Friday? I hope everybody in Florida has made it through the storm, because that was an awful large hurricane that went through. A very large devastation. So I'm hoping all the Floridians have made it out alive. That's one thing. You know, everything else can be fixed, repaired, as long as you're out with your life. That's all that counts. And your loved ones and your pets. So let's see. For me this week at work it was so-so. It wasn't too bad. It did drag a little bit here and there. But I am taking off a couple days next week. I work Sunday, Monday, and I have the rest of the week off. Second part of my vacation, which I'm taking off, and because my youngest daughter, with the one that has the 2 boys, the 2 young boys, her and her husband bought a house, and they get the keys tomorrow. So, and she wants to take out the carpet of the boys' room and put down hardwood flooring. So I'm going to go over there next weekend, and help replace the flooring and take down wallpaper in the kitchen and paint and reinforce the deck, because the house has a deck, but it needs to be reinforced for their hot tub. So I'm going to meet with them and pick up all the wood for that on Tuesday. And I'm going to go over and replace her flooring for her. They did get a double wide mobile home, 4-bedroom. So the boys will have their own room, and she doesn't want the carpet in the room, so we're going to put down hardwood flooring. So they're going to rip out the carpet this coming up week. So when I get over there, all I have to do is pretty much start laying the floor down. So that's what I'll be doing next week. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go live next Friday. I will post it on the community tab if I don't go live. If I'm busy doing flooring. So let's see. John says, wonder how heavy it would be when filled with drills. It's not that heavy, actually. I have another kit that it's a Josephine Walls, 190 some colors. And it's 100 by 100, canvas is 100 by 100 centimeters. It's not that heavy at all. Actually, it's pretty good. John says, Ivan went to the south of us. We never lost power, but there's a bunch around us that still don't have power. Well, that's good, Don. Went to the south. Yeah, they were thinking it was going to go up through Tampa, but it actually hit Fort Myers and went across. So So I worked last night, got off a little bit early, came home and I diamond painted for a couple hours, watched a movie or two on the computer. Let's see, that was 300. Went to bed a little later than I wanted to because I wanted to get up early, but I still got up on my regular time, about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Got out, I mowed the lawn, so that's done. That's my Friday routine, is mowing the lawn. And then I totally forgot to take out my dinner for tonight out of the freezer, so I did that when I got up, so it's still frozen. So that will be tomorrow's dinner. I will just probably have leftover chili that I made last weekend and make some rice and have that with it. Because I wanted to grill. So I got some steak ribs, some beef ribs. They're little, I guess they call them short ribs or something, beef short ribs or something. They come in a pack of 4, but the 2 pieces are huge. So I just have 2 of those and a baked potato. That'll be tomorrow. Okay. I think I put too many drills in this tray. I'm having a hard time. This baggie sucks. It's little tiny baggies. So flimsy. Hey Chantel, how's it going? Love hearing the daily life of boring little old me. Little old man living by himself in a big house. Well, not a big house, but that's cool. Yeah. Shit. So I'll spend the rest of the day, probably the evening. Because Fridays I do all my chores around the house. Lawn, I do the lawn first, and then towards throughout the evening I'll do all the housework. And tomorrow is laundry, so I do all the laundry at once on Saturday evening when it's not peak hours. So all I have to do is vacuum and dust and stuff like that. Not too much. Probably an hour or so. Then I gotta mop the kitchen floor. That's about it. So a couple of weeks ago, I did go out and buy one of small grills. It's a small. They call it a tabletop grill, but I didn't want to get anything. I got it from Family Dollar for like $15, I think. Got it towards the end of summer. I don't know why I waited so long, but it's working. It's working pretty good. Cooks my baked potatoes. That's all I care. I like cooking my baked potatoes on the grill. Okay, don't spill. Okay, so let's see. Don says braised short ribs in slow cooker. Yum. Yeah, I cook them on the grill, and I have I marinate them in it's a Chinese seasoning, Mongolian beef seasoning. So if you ever been to Panda Express, If you've ever been to Panda Express and got the Mongolian beef, that's the seasoning I got. I love Mongolian beef. So I marinated in that, and then while it's grilling, I keep brushing it every time I turn it. The short ribs, and they come out. I had it a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago. I had it, and it turned out so good. So that was a good choice to go with. I also had it on my steak that I had last weekend. I cooked a ribeye steak, and I let it marinate in Worcestershire sauce. And then as it was cooking, I used the Mongolian beef seasoning. That turned out really good also. It was a huge steak, and I didn't think I was going to eat it all, and I figured I was going to have it the next day for leftovers, and I sat here and I ate the whole thing. It was so good. Where's my tweezers? And I do have, pretty sure it's on Berta's mind. I still have the microwave to put up. And no, Berta, it's not up on the wall yet. I'm going to do that on my week off. Because I think the one reason why I've been holding off on the microwave is because once I have the bracket up, I need a second person to hold it up. So while I bolt it in, I don't think I can hold it myself because it's a heavy microwave. It's a heavy one. So I think I'm going to have my neighbor. He hasn't been working very much, so I think I'm going to, once I get the bracket and everything up. So I do have to rewire it. That's another thing that's why it's taking me so long. It's been sitting here for a year. You can see I'm not in a real hurry having a microwave. So so I already asked him, I think last weekend I asked him when I seen him taking his daughter out on a bike ride. So I asked him if I lit up my microwave, if he can help me for 5 or 10 minutes while I bolt it in. He's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. So this next week, while I have 5 days off, I'm going to work on that. And work on some of my bigger canvases. So the last one that I just finished a canvas last weekend, actually. It's a lot of leftovers. Should have used a bigger baggie. That's okay. So I did finish this one. It's all done. Very, very nice. I love the way it turned out. So now I can have a second painting of Harry Potter on my wall. So I do have another one. It's by Diamond Dots. So that's number 2. I'm going to hang on one wall. So I kind of have a theme going on all my walls. I have Chuck Pinson in the dining room on 2 walls because his paintings are so huge. I have 3 paintings on 2 walls. No, wait, 3 or 4. I think there's 4 on 2 walls that joint like this. So on the 2 walls, I have 4 paintings of Chuck Pinson. And then my Lizzie Falcon is on the other side of the living room. And my Harry Potter is on the wall that faces going outside of the front porch. So each wall has an artist. So in here, I just have random. So I have my Alice over there. And then behind me on the wall, I have my, this is right here. Right here. It's my first Randall Spengler. It's a small one. It's Spare Time Stories. So I have other ones from him that I want to do. So that wall and the wall that joints over here, that's going to be my Randall Spengler wall. And then right over here on next to me, where I got my Manny Mazzano, my prima donna, the one I finished, that's going to be Manny wall. So, because I have a lot more of hers too. Let's see. Dawn says, that sounds delicious. Yeah, it is really, really good. Dawn says, hate our microwave. No hood vent out to outside. Yeah, because above the stove, because when I moved in with no stove. I just had a refrigerator. I was like, okay, the rent's cheap enough. I went out to Best Buy and I bought a stove. $400 on sale, $400 some odd dollars on sale. So got the stove. I got the matching microwave also because I got an extra $50 or $75 off the microwave because it's a $200 microwave. I got it for like barely over $100 because I bought the 2 together. Plus, they gave me a $100 gift card. So, microwave was pretty much, free. But I got to find the gift card. I put it somewhere and I can't find it. So, where above the stove had a hood, one of those hood, it was a light with the fan, those old freaking ugly hood vents. So, and there was no vent. So when I put up the microwave, why it's taking me so long, I have to rewire the electrical. I have to put a plug in and I have to cut a hole for the vent through the wall to go outside the back of the kitchen, because the back of the kitchen is like where it goes down because it's closed off out there from the rest of the house. So when I go out of the kitchen door to go outside, I have to go down the stairs and out another door. But it's like a breezeway because that's where you go down to the basement also. So it's like a breezeway, and that's where my pantry is for my extra canned goods. So the wall is not that thick, so I'm going to cut a hole through the wall and put the vent in for the microwave. So there's just not, if it was just popping up the bracket and putting up the microwave with everything else all done, it would have been up the weekend I got it. But it's going to take a little bit more work. So that's why it's taken me a year to do it. Plus, I've been lazy, a little lazy and laid back and trying to get other things done. So anyways, hi, Yvonne. Sean tells, love that one. Or the Bear Time Stories, or the one, or the Harry Potter one. Yeah, when I seen it, one of the ladies, I was saying last week on the live, one of the ladies at the last June retreat was working on it. I was like, that is really nice. Because I seen it on the website. And I wanted it, but it was always sold out. And she was working on it. And I'm like, that is really, really nice. I have to get me one. So once it came back in stock, I grabbed it. So it didn't take long to work up, maybe 3 weeks. So it's not that big. Those are more of a snack size for me nowadays. A 50 by 70s, pretty much a snack size. So this last week, when I come home from work, if I come home early enough, I'll sit down and I'll work for a couple hours. So I did grab my Captured by Radiance, my Tiger family. Started working on that. That one has a lot of confetti in it, but it's turning out really, really nice. I showed it last week when I spilt my drink all over the floor. So this is my Tiger family. Love this painting. So I actually got the second tiger face with the second tiger. Always backwards right here. I finished this last night. This section right here last night. So once I finish the rest of this row right here, I'll be halfway done. This is like a 70 by 100. So it has turned out really, really nice. And I'll probably hang this in my bedroom. There goes the cover minder. I got that one going, and like I was saying earlier, I'm going to start on my Heaven and Earth designs. I already started on it once. I got about 800 drills on it. It is 38 centimeters wide by 250, which is like 9 feet. So, and I'm going to probably hang that one up in the kitchen, I think, because it's going to go from ceiling to floor. So I'm going to start that one back up on the first because I have the pattern on Pattern Keeper, which is everything I use is Apple, so I had to get an Android tablet to put the Pattern Keeper on. So I found one on Wish. I think I only paid like $16 or $18 for it. And it's an El Cheapo. It came with the operating system, but it didn't come anything for the internet. So I had to sit and load all the internet stuff on the tablet, which didn't take very long. And then I had to download, the Pattern Keeper and all that stuff, and download PDF file and the program for PDFs. So, and it doesn't keep a very long charge, so that is charging. So I want to start that one back up and get it finished. I know I can finish it pretty quick. Hopefully by the end of the year. Hey, Blunts and Gems. How are you? Nana Crafty Gems. Dawn Marie. Is that my Nana? Is that my Melissa? Or is that Dawn Marie? That's Dawn Marie. She says, hey, Brother Billy. That's Dawn Marie, huh? Missed ya. John says, Tigers look great. Hey, Cindy Lee. How are you doing? Yep, she says, Dawn Marie. Yep. I'm not going to be at the retreat this year for the October retreat because when I was able to back out of it at the last minute, work was not so great. So that's why I decided to go ahead and not go, give my spot to someone else that wanted to go. Mike Jigsaw Diamonds. Hello, how are you? Cindy Lisa, she's doing awesome. And how am I? I'm doing great. I'm doing just here living and visiting the grandkids. As I was saying earlier, they are moving. They purchased a house, so I'm taking off next week and going over and replacing their flooring in the boys' bedroom. So they will now have their own bedroom. So I get to do all that stuff. All that fun construction stuff. But otherwise, I've been just, working and sitting here diamond painting, and that's about it. Working a lot, actually. I had to stop working 6 days a week for a while because it was starting to taking a toll on me. So only having 1 day off a week. So that's all I've been doing. Just going to work and working around the house, and that's it. Don says, us either. Melissa health not good enough to travel, and I don't want to go without her. So true, so true. So a lot of you came in pretty late. I don't know if you went back and rewound, but I am re-kitting my Heaven and Earth Designs canvas. I'm going from 4 of the Elizabeth Ward containers to 1. So when I originally kit this up, they didn't have this available. So this kit, this case that I got has the round tubes, holds 240 of these bottles, and my Heaven and Earth Designs is 239 colors. So I'm taking 4 of the Elizabeth Wards and I'm condensing it down to 1 case. Well, that's what I'm doing today. And after I get off the live here, I got to go do my grocery shopping before midnight. I got 6 hours. But the store closes at midnight. And then, because I go to the store every week and just grab the essentials that I use during the week, like creamer and coffee, and I don't go and get a whole lot of stuff because I go once a month to Aldi's and I get most of my groceries from there once a month. But I go usually every week and I grab just the stuff that I use during the week. Like I was saying, coffee and creamer and milk, bread. Tomorrow I'll go to the bread store because the bread, Sara Lee has an outlet store just down the road from the grocery store. And the bread is like $1 a loaf compared to the $3 a loaf in the store. That's just down the road. So I go over there once a month and I'll grab 5-6 loaves of bread and put them in the freezer. So I'm just going to go to later on and grab my essentials. And I do check out, see if there's any meat on sale, because I usually don't buy chicken or beef until it goes on sale. Oh, and I get my fresh fruit too. So I do have canned fruit that I'd like to put in the refrigerator, get it nice and cold, and have it as a snack, like a late night snack. If I get a little bit hungry before bed, I'll open up a can of cold fruit, and that will be my snack, my bedtime snack. That's pretty much what I do every week. So I think next week I'm probably going to be working with clay next week if I go live. If I go live next week, because like I was saying, I'm going to go over and replace my daughter's flooring in the boys' bedroom this next week. So if I do go live next Friday, I'll be working with clay. We'll make up a new design and some colors, and we'll do that. If not, it'll be the week after. Come on. Didn't pour as many in there as last time. I have issues, people. I have issues. Not sure what I'm doing. See, I'm scheduled to work on Thanksgiving. That would be my Friday. Thursday is my Friday, so we have a new guy in training, so yay. So by then he should be on his own, because he's been training he's an experienced driver, but they still have the guys go with a trainer for at least a couple weeks to get, everything situated with loading facilities and stuff. And make sure they know how to do our paperwork and all that stuff. So I think this is his second week. So as I trained, even though when I transferred, I still had to go with the trainer. I was with the trainer for 12 or 13 days. So, and the boss man asked me once he's done training and on his own, if I want to go to day shift. And I said, yes, this winter I want to be on the day shift. Last winter I took us off. It was cold. I think this year is supposed to be colder because the weather has gotten colder already. I think this whole last week it rained for like 3 days in a row, off and on, not all at once. So. But 3 days it rained off and on. And we haven't had anything above 65 degrees. Like today it got up to 68. It was the warmest day all week. It's supposed to be 70 tomorrow. So I was here about this time last year when I first moved back. It was still good 68, 70, 75 degrees every day. Last night it was 40 degrees. So I had the heater on. So he asked me if I wanted to go to days. I'm like, yes. So, and then I might go ahead and change my schedule to work 6 work 6 days off 2, work 6 days off 3. So it's a split shift. When I was in California, we did the 5-2, 5-3 split, and I loved it. Everybody loved it because we all took turns having the weekends off for like a month. So when I first moved out here, I was talking with the boss man before I started working, and he asked me what kind of schedule I was wanting to work. I said, well, I would like to go back to the 5-2, 5-3. He goes, yeah, the guys here didn't like that schedule, so everybody works 5 days a week, the same 2 days off. So I'm going to ask him to do the 6-2, 6-3 schedule because they do have it out here. So I don't see an issue with it as long as we have someone new, which he's in training. Right now, the schedule I'm working, I work mostly during the week because there's nobody. I work Tuesday, Wednesday night by myself. There's no other drivers at work Tuesday, Wednesday night. And that's just to make sure we have covered down here. So Mike says, do I work with resin at all? I do resin on my pins. So when I make my diamond painting pins out of my clay. So wait, what am I doing? I have a second camera up and I never put it up here. Duh. So this is one of my paintings on one of my diamond painting pins that I do. I put resin on the outside. I coat it in resin. Just like Crashly does. But I started it first. So when I make my pins, this is the last one I make. It's not baked yet, so it's very soft still. So it's not shiny. It's kind of dull. But this is the last one that I made probably a couple months ago. So I still have to finish it because you can see the seam in it. You can see the seam a little bit right there. So I got to finish that off. Then I got to bake it. But I don't bake just one, so I have to do more. So I bake like a dozen at a time. I bake it, I sand it, and then I coat it with resin. But that's probably my extent of working with resin so far. So I only have so much time in a day. So I also have a Cricut maker. I haven't spent too much time on my Cricut maker. So that was my Christmas present to myself last year. I have used it when I first got it. I was so excited. I had it right here in front of me, and that's all I would be doing is doing my Cricut stuff. And So now it's on the back table. I want to start doing some more on that, especially when the holidays are coming up. I make my own cards, my own Christmas cards. But I also have thought about doing some resin projects, but I'm still in the planning phase, research phase. I'm still doing research on it, but maybe next year, maybe sometime next summer or something. I'll start doing some resin sculpture, resin pieces or something like that. But as for resin right now, all I do is use it. I use it to harden my pens. So, and plus it makes them nice and shiny too. But it takes a long time for it to dry. I don't use UV resin. I use regular resin. It takes 12 hours to dry. So when I do my pins, I do them like a dozen at a time because it takes, I do 2 coats, so that's a 24-hour dry time. So because when I first started trying out the resin on the pins, I had to throw a couple away because they end up getting drips, and so I just threw them away. And so now I have it to where they don't drip. And the resin that I got was pretty much the cheapest that I got just to try it out. So I know there's quick drying resin. I'll probably have to get, I think that's what Crashly uses. It starts to set up in a couple minutes. Mine just sets up, it just takes 12 hours for it to dry. So once I coat them, I just put it into the spinner and just let it spin for 12 hours. And I do it twice. So let's see. Let's see. Yvonne says we got paid a little extra with a split shift. That's why I take it. I don't get it. We do have a shift. It's called the Weekend Warrior. It works Thursday through Monday, and you get $1.50 more an hour. There's already 2 guys on that shift, so they're both days. If I work the 6-2, 6-3 shift, I don't get any extra. I don't get anything extra per hour. It's just I'll have bigger checks. One week I may have a 4-day paycheck. One week I may have a 7-day paycheck. So just because every other week your days off rotate forward 1 day. So, and I do get time and a half over 40, so that would probably be my extra pay right there. Could be all 20 hours of overtime instead of I'm getting 10 hours now. But we're moving into the winter time too, so because last winter we had a lot of snow days and I didn't go to work. So but in the winter time we are guaranteed a 40-hour work if we can't go into work because there's the weather and we don't get 40 hours, we're guaranteed the 40 hours. So, and last year I didn't work a whole lot, so because the snow, I didn't feel comfortable being out there in the big old truck in the snowstorms. Because, man, the one night, the roads were nice and clear, and it wasn't snowing. It was just cold. I got to my first stop, and by the time I left there, I was only there probably less than an hour, 45 minutes maybe. There was so much snow. The roads were covered. On my way back, I called in. I said, I'm going back to the yard. I'm done for the night. There's no way. I think we were on the freeway doing 30 miles an hour. The roads were totally covered just in within 30, 45 minutes. It was bad last year. Of course, that was my first year back in the snow in 20 some years. But I still think it was bad. And they're saying this year is supposed to be even worse than last year. So, and plus, if I go on the day shift, hopefully I won't get caught in any of the snowstorms at night. Mike says, oh, cool. You just answered the question I had. Was wondering if you could use resin on clay or not. Yes. Tia uses she uses the what's the resin called that you put under a light? UV resin. Yeah. Tia uses UV resin on her pens. Crashly uses regular resin on her pens. I use regular resin on my pens. Yeah, but I have to do two. Yeah, I think she does 2 coats and I do 2 coats. So it makes them really sturdy because this is a Tia pen right here. So see how shiny the resin makes it? So this is a Tia made that one. And I think she also made this one. Is her shorties, her curvy girls that she calls her pups. Yeah, so the resin, this is a resin, like I was saying earlier, this is a resin on clay. So this is the one, it's got bumps on it because this is the one, because it's got I use a tumbler churner, a cheap tumbler churner from Amazon. I think it was only $15. And I rubber band them to, I put the skewers through the pin and I put rubber bands at each end that I brush on the resin. I mix the resin, let it sit, get all the bubbles out, and you take a paintbrush, and I paintbrush on the resin onto the pin, and then I let it sit and rotate around the tumbler turner so it doesn't get the drips. This one has drips on it because this was one of my first ones I did. But I did get a sander and I sanded it down. So I just need to put a second coat on this one. But it makes them much stronger. So this is a non-resin pen. And it can bend really easy. See, I can bend it. Mike says, I have a clay disc with my pet's paw prints in it. The vet did when he died a few weeks ago. Might encase it in resin for a cover minder. Yeah, nice. Yeah, just might have to do a couple layers on it. Just make sure the first layer is kind of not too thick, not too thin, and because I found that if I put a thin layer on it, it would. Because I was doing cover minders too, and I would put the resin on the cover minders. But I was finding as the resin dried on the cover minders that it would shrink. So you might have to do a couple layers, but sand in between each layer though. Just a little bit. It may look clouded when you sand it, but it's okay. Because when you put the second coat of resin on it, it'll the fog or the what am I trying to say? The clarity will come back. So yeah, when you sand resin, it gets that foggy where you can't really see through it. Just when you put your second coat of resin on it, it'll you can see through it again. So you may want to have to do 2 coats. I would do 2 coats. Nancy, how are you? Did you slam your finger in a door? My finger. Talking about my finger? No, I slammed it and it was at work. So I used a crowbar to take off the lids for the tanks at the gas stations. And the lids are heavy. They're steel and they're only like they're big discs. They're probably this big, size of my head and my hands. So it slipped off the crowbar, and as I grabbed it with my hand, it slipped, and it banged between the lid and the rim of the tank. And yeah, it hurt bad. It hurt for like 3 days. So yeah, that's where I got my little boo-boo from. But when I first see where the white is on my nail, that was black from like right here after the first night or the second night. But it's actually, my nail is growing out, so the blood underneath the nail will actually grow out with the nail. So I think I'm going to end up losing the nail because right here at the back, I've noticed it's pulling away from the skin. But it's not the first time. It's usually a thumb. Because when I was over in Afghanistan, I was building a deck and I hit my finger with a hammer twice. And boy, my thumb was black and blue for months. I never hit my thumb with a hammer again. It was twice in one day. The same day I hit my thumb twice. Oh, time is just flying by. So what is everybody working on? Do have a lot of plans, but not enough time. I have so many canvases I want to get done, and it's like one at a time. even though I have like 5 or 6 kitted up, ready to go. I do have a cross stitch I want to start. I'm dying to start. It's all ready to go. I just got to start it. Let's see. So this is my next cross stitch project I want to start. So let's see. Let's get the glare. Glare, glare, glare. So this is my next one I want to start. I can't wait to start it because I think it's really, really, really nice. Saw the buildings in London. London Towers, I think it's called. There's a lot more. We have a lot more too. This is Dear Governor. This is all the other ones they have too. But it is on black Ada. 14 count, I think. Oh, it is huge. It is very huge. Got my pattern all ready to go. I think it's like a these are legal size patterns, so there is like tons of pages. 9 pages, 10. I'm trying to look for the size of it. It doesn't have a size, but it's huge. Maybe this winter I'll start it. On the next snow day, I'll start it. Nancy says, I was in half a gas can as well. When were you there? Huh? I was in half a gas can as well. Oh, Afghanistan. I was there in 2010. I had to think. Because I got my orders in 2009. And I had to go and train with the unit that I was going with 3 months prior of leaving. So we didn't leave until February of 2010. But I was away from home October of 2009. So I was gone a year. So I think we came back to the States in September of 2010. Because I had earned a month off with pay before I had to go back to the unit here in Cali. So hey Robin, how are you? How's your week? Is it better than last week? I hope so. Oh. Let's see. We called it half a gas can. That's funny. Yeah, I was in at the base in Kandahar at the international airport, which they had closed off, I guess, the base. Yep, so I was in Kandahar. Never left the base, so all I was doing was ordering and distributing building supplies. I was in charge of, we supported 14 different units, I think. So all their building supplies I ordered, and once they came in, I went to pick them up and got all the stuff together for them, and they came and picked it up. So I had a crew of, I think there were 16 of us. Yeah, a lot of work. Lots of work. It's just not ordering and distributing. It was a lot of work. We had a full yard of just stuff. Because one of the units that first went in over there, they went on an order frenzy. So they were ordering all kinds of stuff. I was still getting stuff in that they ordered a year prior. So a lot of times it would come in all at once, and I went from a little pickup truck to a big old freaking semi truck flatbed to pick up stuff. That was coming in so rapidly. But yeah, that's all I did over there. Lots of meetings, lots of training on programs on ordering stuff and tracking stuff and who to order it from and where to send it, what port, and all that stuff. So yeah, lots of work. That's why I had a crew of 16. Let's see. Robin says, I am doing great. Yes, I just needed to take a bit of a break. Yes. We all need a break, because when I, in between my canvases or my projects, I just take a week off. I don't do anything. I sit here. I may reorganize my craft room, because as I'm working on my projects, I just throw stuff about and not put it where it's supposed to go. And so in between my projects, I may sit and clean and organize. I may bob in my threads, put them in my little wooden container right there. I just reorganize and clean and for a whole week before I start my next project. You need that mental break sometimes. At least I do. Nancy says, I was a medic and would fly in and pick up our wounded and bring to the Germany, and then bring them home once they were stable. Cool. But that was a lot of work too. Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much didn't leave the base. I actually, for one of the helicopter groups, I think they were called Black Ops. They had a helicopter pad on the flight line, but they didn't have. They flew out troops back and off and on from the base. So he came by. I got to know the guy that ran the unit over there, and they were a civilian group. He would come by a couple times a week and just sit and chit chat and talk. And one day he just asked, he goes, I'm looking to have a deck built with a cover on it for when the guys come and sit before we're ready to take off. They're out of the sun. So I worked up a deal with them, and they would buy us dinner or pizza or whatever every day that we worked. And I built a 20 by 24 foot deck covered. It took about a week because I would go over there after my regular duty, and on the weekends that's all I would do. And then he actually offered to take us on a trip off base, but not land anywhere. Just fly around, off base. But we couldn't get approval for it from the CO. So we didn't get to do that. I could have got a free helicopter ride. But all is good. When I was over there, I got to actually, so when you're in the logistics field, you get to meet a lot of people. So a lot of higher ups. So as how it works, I was deployed with the battalion, with the regiment, not battalion. I got it backwards. So I was with the regiment. So the regiment oversees the battalions. So I had appointed authority over all battalion, even the officers. So because I was with the regiment. So I actually had I had a senior, a master chief try to get me in trouble. It didn't work. And then, because one of the battalions that we worked with was right where our yard was, our supply yard was right next to the supply yard for the battalion. So that's where we would, because when they switched out, we would frack. I think they call it fracking. When we frack the battalion to have guys come work for us, the regiment. And they would report to us, not them. One of the, because I would have to go over there, they would I had a laptop, and we ran a internet cable. It was so jerry-rigged, but we ran a cable up and over the Connex boxes and through the through the stuff and through the bob wire and all that stuff, and because we would piggyback off their internet, so I could have internet down at the yard, and they kept unplugging it. So I'd be in the middle of doing something, and next thing you know, no internet. So I knew exactly where it was. So I would go over there, knock on the door, and the lieutenant answered. I said, my internet went off. It's connected over here. They were just getting there. They were new. They'd only been there maybe a week. And he goes, "Oh, I don't think so." I said, "Sir, yes. Whatever plug you just unplugged from that router over there was my internet. It needs to be plugged back in, and it needs to stay plugged back in." He was the IT officer. And he goes, "Well, who are you?" I said, I told her who I was, and I was with the regiment, and what unit I was with, and his face kind of turned white, and I said, he's like, "No problem, won't touch it again." But I had a lot of chiefs coming over, and senior chiefs would come over and just shoot the shit with me and talk, and like, anything you need, just let me know. I'm like, okay. Well, that was an experience of a lifetime. That sure was. I do miss it a lot. But not being in Afghanistan, though. Just the military in general. I do miss it a lot. Let's see. So it's almost 7. I know that Mickey is on 7 or 7:30. Can't remember what time she goes live. It's either 7 or 7:30. So, and I need to get my butt to the store, do my shopping. Hey Nana, how are you? I hope things are doing good on your side. At least better. I'm going to go ahead. Well, I may as well just take it to the top of the hour. Just like to let everybody know that everybody is always in my thoughts and prayers. I know that there's a lot of things in the world going on. A lot of disinformation, a lot of important information, not a lot of information is out there. There is things escalating over in the East, and it seems like it is escalating on a weekly basis. A lot of stuff is not in the news that I think should be in the news, because we all have a right to know what's going on. I just hope that things get better. I'm hoping that things don't get worse for our troops. But I think we're on the verge of having another world war. So all I have to say is and prices are going up on food rapidly. I do buy a lot of canned food. I suggest stocking up on canned food, vegetables, fruit, rice, dried oats, flour, eggs. Eggs you can freeze. I bought 6 dozen eggs and I froze them. And when I want eggs, I put them in a bowl, put them in the fridge, and let them defrost for a day or two. So I hope everybody is doing well and stays well. And so that was just a little bit of stuff that's been on my mind for the last couple months. Everybody needs to look out for each other, hold each other up, not put each other down. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. I hope everybody in Florida makes it through the difficulties and overcome Mother Nature. That was a doozy of a storm. Let's see. Just concentrating. So I hope everybody's doing well. Nana, take care of yourself, please. If you need anything, text me, call me anytime. It's good to hear from you again. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end today's live with the high-spirited old man. No jokes. Let's see. We live every day to be our fullest as we can possible. Be happy. And hopefully we'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hold your heads up high. Keep good spirits. And let's see. God bless. And see y'all next week. Bye, everybody. Don't forget, shit happens. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. That's what I was trying to think of. Don't worry. Be happy. And craft your ass off. Have a good night, everyone.